At 10, your eye on West Texas.
Good evening, everyone. Emergency crews are on the scene right now of a fatal shooting in Odessa. Police were called out about 8:30 tonight to the Clayton Manor Apartments. You're looking at live video right there of the scene. You can see a heavy police presence, lots of emergency crews, and this is at Custer and 11th Street in Odessa.
What we know at this hour, officers have confirmed one person is dead. Another person has been taken into custody. And as Tatum said, you can see there are quite a bit of police officers that are there. This is a look from our mobile live iCam there. As you can see, the scene is still very active. Keep it here on CBS 7, CBS7.com, as well as our Facebook page. We do have one of our producers who lives in this area that is keeping an eye on this for you. He will get us the very latest, and we will, of course, bring you more details as they become available.
The U.S. Forest Service and Texas Forest Service are assisting Midland firefighters on two massive grass fires in South Midland County. Emergency crews were called out about 7 o'clock to Highway 349 and FM 300. That's when another fire sparked at FM 1787. Fire crews say the shifting wind has made it very difficult to control these fires.
It's still free-running fire. There's several hundred acres, I think, that's been burned. There's no structures involved and none threatened at this time.
FM 1787 near Highway 349 is closed off right now. Meanwhile, Odessa fire crews are also battling a grass fire. That's off of FM 3503 and East Loop 338. There's a picture of that fire that you see right there. Now, this blaze started about 8:30 this evening, and several units are still on the scene there as well. You can see there was a lot of fire at one point. No word on the containment at this hour. For updates on these fires, you can go to our website at CBS7.com.
New tonight at 10 o'clock, a deputy who was shot in the West Odessa standoff with Victor White is now facing charges of his own after he was arrested for getting in a fight with his brother. But Sheriff Mark Donaldson says it's not necessarily the deputy's fault and believes the conduct is connected to post-traumatic stress of being shot.
As CBS 7's Bo Berman joins us to explain, this deputy may not be alone, as post-traumatic stress disorder can develop after any tense law enforcement situation. Bo?
As much as officers might want to forget bullets whizzing by their heads or another violent situation, they often can't forget that easily. That's why local law enforcement agencies recognize the importance of identifying possible PTSD following major incidents.
The killing of 3 OPD officers in 2007, the West Odessa standoff, or a more recent officer-involved shooting in Midland. For most, they're just headlines, but for the officers involved, the gruesome images can have a more lasting effect.
Everybody that was out there during the situation has had the same thing. I mean, something reminds you of the incident, and you go back and you just run through it over and over and over through your mind.
Ector County Sheriff Mark Donaldson was in the line of fire back in September after 2 of his deputies were shot. Months later, one of them has acted out.
Because I'm dealing with a guy that went through what he went through protecting the citizens, I just feel I owe it to him to try to save that career and let him keep working.
This deputy may not be alone, according to a study in the Journal of Traumatic Stress that looked at patterns of PTSD among officers after shooting incidents. Nearly half met the medical criteria for the disorder. Out of those who didn't, 17 still displayed some symptoms. It's data like this and real-life incidents that have prompted the Odessa Police Department to offer special counseling.
It's kind of like a camera. When you see it, it takes a snapshot. It's there. It doesn't just go away.
Therapists say something as simple as lights or a police radio can trigger a flashback accompanied by unpredictable action. Midland's resources were put into action after a recent officer-involved shooting.
The affected employees, I talked to them personally, at length about the services the department offers, the counseling through a psychologist. The city has a very good EAP program.
If they start seeing these things, okay, we need to let everybody know up above and see if we can get something done.
Sheriff Donaldson says he plans to use this incident as a reminder to his staff to be on the lookout for symptoms or signs that an employee might be bothered by an incident and might need some help. Reporting in the newsroom, Bo Berman, CBS 7 News.
Bo, thanks very much. With your eye on education, the final results for the tax test are in for both Midland and Ector County Independent School Districts tonight. In the Midland School District, numbers show primary growth in mathematics with all grades but the 10th grade showing an increase. 5 out of 9 grades also saw increases in English. For the Ector County School District, 3rd and 7th grade students increased their math scores, while the others posted drops in their scores. Meanwhile, in reading, all were down with the exception of the 10th grade. Now, these are the district numbers and were not broken down by schools. To see that list and all of the other results, you can go to our website at cbs7.com.
It's a deadly virus affecting horses all across the country, and it could also have an impact on the economy in West Texas.
As CBS 7 Shannon Murray explains, the disease is easily spread and has many horse owners in a panic.
The equine herpes virus can spread between horses by something as small as a sneeze. The outbreak started in Utah, where 11 horses died after an event. And just last week, a horse in Ector County died because of EHV. Many fear that if horse owners don't take action now, it could only get worse.
They're not a number at my house. They're my best friends.
Horse trainer Krista Wilson says the virus has her on high alert, and now it's affecting her business.
I have horses here in training that I will not let leave for 30 to 60 days, and I had horses on a waiting list that can't come in now for at least 90 days.
Those horses that are exposed to it, about 2% of them die, but it's horse-to-horse contact. It's nose-to-nose contact for the most part.
There's no way to fully protect a horse from EHV, but there are ways to reduce the risk.
Stay home when we're not sure which way an outbreak's going to go, and not expose their horses to a lot of horses they don't know.
Dr. Will Evans says the outbreak seems to be contained for now, but Wilson says her worry is the other owners who don't know about it and may not even recognize warning signs.
You don't have a clue where any of these horses have been or what they've been exposed to and what can be on the water hoses, the feed buckets, or parked in the trailer next to you. I don't think they understand the dangers of how it's transmitted, how serious it is.
Several local equine events have been canceled, including the Memorial Day Classic in Andrews this past weekend. Dr. Evans says the Texas Animal Health Commission has quarantined the stable in Ector County where the horse died last week. Reporting in the studio, Shannon Murray, CBS 7 News.
Shannon, thanks very much. While a horse could show no signs of the virus, there are a few things you can look for. If your horse was recently at a show or has a high possibility of exposure to the disease, you may want to have them tested for EHV. Also, if the horse is running a fever, has swelling in their legs, or has nasal discharge, you may also want to consider taking them to a veterinarian. We had some warm and breezy conditions on this Wednesday.
That's right. Let's check in with Weather Director Craig Stewart now for a look at the wind right now. Causing some problems for those firefighters tonight, Craig.
Jay Tatum, yeah, it really is. And the winds, they are still up anywhere from the 10 to 20, 15 to 25 mile an hour range. So we're going to show you what's going on around the fires. And again, we do have a fire weather watch. I'll tell you about that here in just a moment. But first, we'll go ahead and take a look at what's going on around the Odessa area in terms of the winds. The good news is they've got this fire knocked down, that at about 9:30, but they still have got the firefighters out there. The winds out of the south to southeast sustained at 19 miles an hour, and you don't have to go very far. The one in Midland County, the winds out of the south to southeast at about 20 miles an hour. Kind of see where they're located in relation to Odessa and the Midland area. So they are south of that area. The good news is the one in Odessa, they've got the fire knocked down, but still crews out there battling the blaze that's still ongoing. Thursday, your fire weather watch is from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Permian Basin, northern Permian Basin, a little bit of southeast New Mexico, the mountainous areas. So it is going to be windy, it's going to be very warm, and the fire danger very high. We'll talk about that, the 7-day forecast, and let you know about the winds tomorrow as well.
Craig, thanks very much. New information tonight about the closing of Trans-Pecos Foods in Pecos. The company says they have been experiencing financial difficulties for some time, and partners of the company have poured money into the operations trying to save jobs. That's according to the company. But today they revealed they could not find another buyer and had to shut the door for goods. Shut the doors for good, that is. The CFO says this comes after a recall of one of their products, but that has nothing to do with the closure. Many employees told CBS 7 that they had only a week's notice before losing their jobs.
CBS 7's Jennifer Samp joins us from Pecos to explain why. Jennifer?
Representatives from Trans-Pecos Foods say if the company had given employees an advance notice warning about the shutdown, it would have prevented them from searching for a new buyer. But the delay was all in vain after efforts were unsuccessful.
Well, the financial situation is we've closed the business here.
100 employees were let go. Gary Candy, the chief financial officer, says the workers will be given their vacation pay and then their last paycheck.
Unfortunately, we've had to let go of all the employees, so therefore all production has been halted.
By law, a company has to notify the Texas Workforce Commission, when they get ready to have a layoff of over 50.
Willie Taylor, the CEO of the Texas Workforce Commission, says these laid-off workers make up 3% of the workforce population in Reeves County.
People that's being laid off, we try to get them back into jobs as quick as possible.
Taylor says a few companies in West Texas have already contacted him with job openings for these employees.
That's the first priority. We would try to keep them at their home base.
Trans-Pecos Food says they are still looking for someone to buy their company. Until then, the doors will remain closed.
People have been great here in town. The city has been great, and it's just a sad day.
In Pecos, Jennifer Samp, CBS 7 News.
Jennifer, thanks very much. Thanks to a booming oil field, the city of Monahans is growing at a rapid pace. While city officials are glad to see the growth, now there's an even bigger problem: nowhere for people to live. Local realtors say they are 100% occupancy for rentals. There's even a shortage of homes for sale. Though new developments are going up, officials say it's not enough.
Right now, everything is taken. We're at a point where we can't grow anymore. There's no more housing. There's no more rental property. Call local realtors down here and they'll tell you nothing. I have nothing for you to rent.
Mayor Cutbirth says the city will not be raising taxes, but they are asking the community to help fund housing projects or build rental properties themselves. For now, most of the oil field workers are living at extended stay hotels.
We may be in an oil boom here in the Permian Basin, but for many families not tied to the oil and gas industry, the boom may actually be hurting them. According to the Midland County Housing Authority, rent prices have skyrocketed for apartments and houses. They tell us because of the demand from people coming into the city for the oil industry, there is also a lack of affordable housing, and most apartment complexes are at capacity.
If they can remain where they're at, that we strongly recommend that they do so. They're not going to find something that's any lower in rent than what they're paying now. Rents are just continuously rising.
The Housing Authority is working with the Department of Housing and Urban Development to increase its allotted spending amount to help families with rent. Currently, they can only give out 458 vouchers worth $632 for a one-bedroom apartment, including utilities.
Well, as we told you at the top of our show, shooting incident going on right now at an apartment complex in Odessa. In fact, let's take a look at some live pictures right now. This is located off 11th and Custer. It is at the Clayton Manor Apartments. According to Odessa police, this started at about 8:30 tonight.
Now, according to the Odessa American, they are also on the scene. We have a producer on the scene as well, so we're all gathering information on this fluid scene. Details are coming in. They say that witnesses have told investigators that the man who was shot was walking his dog around the neighborhood. Animal control is on the scene as well. Officers have confirmed for us that one person is dead, one person transported, and another person has been taken into custody.
All right, so keep in mind we are still on the scene. We have several sources out there that are getting us information. Police did finally confirm, again, as Tatum said, one person is dead. We know that at least one person is in custody. So we will, of course, continue to follow the story, get you the very latest. Keep it right here. Go to our website at cbs7.com. Certainly check our Facebook page as well for further updates.
All right, it was triple digits today, or may be gone for now, but it is still hot outside.
Hot and windy. So how is the rest of the week shaping up? Weather Director Craig Stewart is back after the break with a look at your 7-day forecast. We are continuing to follow the breaking news out of Odessa. A shooting tonight at a local apartment complex located off 11th and Custer. In fact, crews have been out there since about 8:30 tonight when this was first called in. We know that one person is dead, one person taken to the hospital, and one person in custody. This took place at the Clayton Manor townhomes.
We have a crew on the scene, but what we can tell you right now is that there is a heavy police presence at the time. Crime scene investigators are on the scene. Police have a heavy presence there. They are investigating, trying to figure out what exactly led to this fatal shooting in Odessa. The Odessa American is also covering this story as well, and they have led reports that say that the family of the alleged shooter who has been arrested has even been on the scene and is very emotional. So as you can imagine, some tense moments there. We still have no word yet on what the motive might be or any of the names of either the suspect or the victims, but We do have a crew on the scene, and we're going to continue following this.
This was a picture that the Odessa American has sent us. This shows a man that was taken into custody. We're not sure if this is the person they believe may have done this, but again, this is what they are showing at least, and has sent this to us to show you. Again, this is still a very active scene there. We urge you to stay out of the area, allow police to do their work. We have a producer there on the scene as well. Once again, at the Clayton Manor Townhomes. This is located off 11th and Custer. We'll, of course, continue to follow this, and we'll have more as well in the morning. Keep it on our website, certainly on our Facebook page as well.
All right, let's switch gears now.